What if I told you that every single night, while you're peacefully asleep, blissfully unaware, a battle is raging in the unseen world? No, I'm not talking about your dreams fighting for your attention, or your brain arguing with itself over whether you really need to pee at 3 a.m. I'm talking about something much bigger, something far more terrifying, a literal, cosmic tug of war for your soul. You've probably never given it much thought because, well, you're asleep, but that's exactly the point. What happens while you sleep might not just be the stuff of dreams, it might be the stuff of nightmares. And here's the real kicker. What if the very act of sleeping is a gateway to a secret war between angels and demons? Let me explain. Grab your blanket, because after this, you might think twice before closing your eyes tonight. Let's start with the basics. Sleep. It's something we all do, right? In fact, you'll spend roughly 1/3 of your life snoozing. That's around 26 years in bed. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, science will tell you that this is perfectly normal. Sleep is essential for repairing your body, consolidating your memories, and making sure you don't fall asleep during awkward conversations at work. But for thousands of years, cultures all over the world have believed that sleep is much more than just a biological necessity. In ancient times, sleep wasn't just rest. It was seen as a bridge between worlds, the place where the physical meets the spiritual, where the living brush shoulders with the divine and the demonic. Modern science, it brushes this off as superstition. But does it? Think about it. Why are so many of the most terrifying stories tied to sleep? Nightmares, sleep paralysis, the eerie feeling that something is watching you in the dark. Why does the human brain dream up shadowy figures sitting on your chest or whispering in your ear? Could it be more than just an overactive imagination? Well, let's dig deeper, because this rabbit hole goes much further down. Let's talk about angels and demons, the eternal rivals of the spiritual world. For centuries, people have believed that while you're asleep, your soul is vulnerable. It's like leaving your car unlocked in a sketchy neighborhood. This is when angels step in as your celestial bodyguards. According to Christian theology, angels are tasked with protecting humans from harm, especially when you're unconscious and defenseless. But demons, they're the thieves in the night. These malevolent beings supposedly take advantage of your sleep to sneak into your dreams, whisper temptations, or, if we're talking hardcore demonology, attempt to possess your very soul. It's the ultimate spiritual battlefield. Your bedroom is the front line, and your body is the prize. One of the most chilling examples comes from medieval Europe. Back then, people believed in something called the succubus and incubus. These were demonic entities that preyed on sleeping humans, causing nightmares, or worse. Sound familiar? Some say these stories were just medieval explanations for sleep paralysis, but more on that later. In Islam, the idea of jinn, mischievous, shadowy spirits, plays a similar role. They're said to roam freely at night, looking for unsuspecting humans to haunt. And in African spiritual traditions, sleep is considered a time when your spirit leaves your body to interact with other realms. But here's the question. If all these ancient cultures believed something sinister was happening during sleep, could they have been onto something? Now, let's fast forward to today. Surely, science has debunked all this spooky sleep talk, right? Well, not exactly. There's a phenomenon called sleep paralysis that's so terrifying, it sounds like it was ripped straight out of a horror movie. Here's how it works. You're half awake, half asleep. Your mind is conscious, but your body, it's completely frozen. You can't move. You can't scream. All you can do is lie there, helpless, while your brain conjures up the most terrifying hallucinations imaginable. Shadowy figures in the corner, something sitting on your chest, whispering voices. It's all horrifyingly real to the person experiencing it. Science explains sleep paralysis as your brain messing up the transition between REM sleep and wakefulness. But here's where it gets weird. Why do so many people report seeing the same thing? A dark, shadowy figure watching them? A sinister presence hovering nearby? Could these be demons attempting to reach through the veil of sleep? Even stranger, many sleep paralysis sufferers claim they've been rescued by a sudden feeling of warmth or light, almost as if something angelic intervened. Coincidence? Maybe, but it's enough to make you wonder. And then there are dreams. You might think dreams are just your brain doing a bit of mental housekeeping, tidying up the day's memories. But what if there's something more? In many ancient cultures, dreams were seen as messages from the gods or warnings from darker forces. Take the Bible, for instance. Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dreams as divine prophecies. In ancient Mesopotamia, people believed bad dreams were a sign that evil spirits were trying to influence you. And in Native American traditions, nightmares were thought to be attacks from malevolent entities, which is why they used dream catchers for protection. But here's the question. Are dreams merely our brain's way of processing information? Or could they be the battleground where angels and demons clash? After all, many people report feeling a strange sense of unease after certain dreams, almost as if they've been touched by something otherworldly. And here's the wild part. Some researchers believe that dreams could even act as a form of spiritual defense. Think of them as your soul's immune system, fighting off dark influences while you sleep. So, the next time you wake up sweating from a nightmare, maybe it wasn't just bad pizza. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all fascinating, but how does it affect me? Well, if the idea of spiritual battles during sleep holds any truth, it means your bedroom might be more than just a cozy place to binge-watch Netflix. It's potentially a war zone. This is why so many religious traditions emphasize protecting yourself before bed. Christians might recite prayers like Psalm 91, asking for angelic protection. Muslims often recite Ayatul Kursi to ward off jinn. Even skeptics swear by rituals like lighting candles or keeping salt near their bed. Are these just superstitions? Or do they tap into something real? So, what really happens while you sleep? Is it just a time for your body to recharge? Or is it the stage for an unseen battle between good and evil? The truth is, we may never know, but one thing's for sure, sleep isn't as peaceful as we like to think. So tonight, when you tuck yourself in and turn off the light, take a moment to wonder, who's really watching over you? Sweet dreams.